say that there's a guy here that I know that likes to take risks. I know him. I know him outside of school. I know him at church. I know him outside of church. It's none other than Jonathan East. Let's hear it for Jonathan. Now, here's the thing about Jonathan East. Let me tell you about this guy. I believe, y'all back me up on this, that if I took him out on the highway and I told him to run between cars in oncoming traffic, would he do it? Yes, he would. That is called a risk. That is a very stupid risk. Not the kind of risk I'm talking about, but that is risk. He rises to the challenge. Let me tell y'all what I did 2 weeks ago. He knows I pick on him. He loves me. I went to the mental health center. Me and Jamie did. Isn't that cool? Went to the mental health center. And they have a world-class ropes course. Okay? How many of y'all have ever been on a world-class ropes course? It was awesome. Was it awesome or what? And what it's designed to do is to help you understand and learn about risk management. Okay? It means if you get your body and your mind in a conflict, you're going to do one or two things. You're going to run or you're going to fight. Well, let me tell you what I did. They have a 40-foot telephone pole. You were there. 40-foot telephone pole. Okay? That's 4 stories. It's straight up. It's got pegs on it. And you climb that pole. Would you believe that I climbed a 40-foot telephone pole? The diameter of it is about 1 foot. And I stood on top of the telephone pole. Did I do that?
Yes, you did.
And I keep standing high. I keep standing. But I did. And there was a guy on the ground. I had on a harness, a full body harness, and I had a rope that was tethered on the back of it. Now, once I got on top of that pole, there was no turning back. I wasn't going to come back down. I was too afraid to get off the pole. I was more afraid of climbing down it, Donna, than I was jumping off of it. So I got my wife there, Katina's there, and Jack's there, and a lot of friends from church are there. And what was that going to look like if I didn't get off that pole? A big sissy, wasn't it? Thank you for that. A big sissy. Here I am, this guy who's been out of the country 16 times. I've been in the Air Force. I've ran 6 marathons. I've ran an ultra marathon in the mountain. And I'm standing on a 40-foot pole, and I got a decision to make. So you know what I did? I jumped. I just took a leap of faith. I took a huge risk, and I jumped. And I was scared. I had to check my pants when I got down. But I did it. But here's the driving force behind that risk.
Did you catch the bar?
I caught the bar. I caught it. I hit it. I rang the bell. They had this bell up there, and I had this sword, and I jumped off, and I hit the bell, rang the bell. And if you don't ring the bell, you got to do it again. So I made sure I rang the bell. I kept my mind focused on the risk at hand. But what helped me, Jordan, was there was a guy on the ground that had a rope tethered and a pulley system, and once I jumped, I was caught and captured in the air and slowly let down. Well, see, that's what Christ is. He's the harness for us when we take risks. Let me tell you about a risk I took. When I got out of high school, I was all messed up in the head, Coach Creasy. Man, I was messed up. And I decided that instead of playing baseball in college, where I started out, that I would go in the Air Force. Pretty good decision, because I was really messed up at the time. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was a clown, like some of y'all. Had a lot of potential, but my head wasn't straight. And my heart wasn't right. When your head's not straight, your heart's not right. So I went in the Air Force, and I found myself in the Middle East within about 6 months of joining the Air Force. In 1993, I went to the United Nations over to Saudi Arabia. By myself, I flew commercial over there, got over into Dhahran, and found myself in a country that hates Jesus Christ. They hate Him. They don't believe in Him. And do you know that at any point in time, if I were outside of that air base and I held my Bible up in the air, do you know what would happen to me? Somebody tell me. They would kill me immediately, within a week. If you are a Christian and you are somewhere where they do not accept Jesus Christ, in the Middle East, and you hold this up in the air, you profess to be a Christian, and you take that risk, Jacob, you know what's going to happen? You get beheaded most of the time. It happens every day. We don't hear about it. There's no freedom in that. I took a risk in being a Christian in a country. Let me tell you about another risk I took. I found myself very early on in my Christian life wanting to explore things, wanting to go places, wanting to do things. So at Plainview, we have a church that we support, 3 or 4 churches that's in Costa Rica. And Jamie and I were getting married, and I was crazy in love, Daniel. Couldn't be without her. Didn't want to be without her, Donna. And I go to Costa Rica, and I'm supposed to be there for 10 days. The first day that I get there, you there, Hank? The first day I get there in Securus, I'm walking down the street with a brother, and this drunk guy comes running down the road with a .38 pistol, and he's standing right here beside me, and he pulls up, and he aims it down the road, and he fires a round off 4 feet from me. So I slowly walk around the corner and stand on the other side of the church building to draw no attention to him. He fires off 3 more rounds right beside my ear down the road. I took a risk in being in a country to talk to people about Jesus Christ with this kind of stuff going on. Now, I didn't do nothing special. I just happened to be in a place that I was trying to help other people come to Christ in the kind of environment. Now, let's relate that to you guys. How many people here know the story of the Good Samaritan? Y'all know the story. Somebody tell me what he did. What happened? Somebody tell me before I point you out. Who knows? Coach, you know the story of the Good Samaritan.
Who would know?
Who would know it out here?
Jared Mills right there.
Who? All right, Mills, tell us about it. What did the Good Samaritan do? Yeah, he helped the guy that got robbed, didn't he? Let me tell you what he did. He's walking along the road, walking down the road, minding his own business. He sees a guy out here on the ground. What's he do? 2 people have already passed him up. They're supposed to be Christ-like, right? Did this Samaritan and this paralytic man that was down here on the ground, did their cultures clash? Absolutely. But you know what he did? He made a decision, a conscious effort, to walk over there, to stop what he was doing, to cancel his plans, and to come to the aid of this man. Now, he didn't toss $7 to him, did he? What did he do? The man was dying. He was bleeding to death. And he stopped, and he got down there on the ground, and he bandaged his wounds. You think he got blood on him? I imagine he did. Do you think that he was concerned about the other people that were around there? Absolutely, because we didn't know that the robbers had left or not, did we? The robbers could have still been there, and they could have robbed him. They could have beaten him. But he took the time to clean this man up. He took the time to take him to an inn. And not only did he didn't drop him off, but he stayed with him overnight. He paid for this man's way. He cared for him throughout the night, throughout the next day. He paid for it, and then he told the innkeeper, he said, listen, here's the deal. I'm leaving, but I'm coming back through, and I'm going to stop back by, and whatever it takes to take care of this man, whatever it's cost you, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to take care of it. Now, this guy took some incredible risks. Well, you know what? He got me to thinking. In John chapter 15, verse 20, there's a story about Christ and what he says. And he said that there's no servant that's greater than the master. If they persecuted me, they're going to persecute you. There is risk in being a Christian, but the reward is incredible. Now look, here's the deal. You guys see me, and you see this staff over here, and what you see when you see us is you see authority. Is that right? Would you agree, guys? You see authority. And you see people that really don't know anything other than what they teach. But the reality of the matter is that there is nothing that you have done that all of us haven't done, and probably worse. Right? Isn't that the truth? That's called transparency. We know what you're going through. We have lived it. We have made probably more worse decisions than this whole collective group could think about. That's called life experience. It's called taking risks. You guys have an opportunity every single day to be empowered by the gospel. And when you're empowered by the gospel, and you believe it, then you believe in taking risks for Christ.